Hello and congratulations on the purchase of your Holeyboard. This video is to help you set it up as easily and quickly and painlessly as possible. So I'm going to run through all of the parts and pieces and a couple of the different ways that you can configure the Holeyboard 1, 2, 3 right out of the box. First, I recommend taking your hardware packet that I sent you and separate out your screws and feet. A couple of important things I want to show you here. The rubber feet, you will notice. So you've got short feet and tall feet. That's what I'm gonna call them in the instructions, and it's that simple. You can see that one is simply gonna sit up higher than the other. Next, there are two sizes of M6 machine screws. There's a short M6 screw and a long screw. There's only two of the short ones, the same diameter, that's the M6 part. But the short ones we're just gonna put by themselves, and then we're gonna group all the long ones. There's 13 of the long ones, okay? 2 of the small ones. You're gonna find the larger nuts. This is an M6 nut. It's a big nut and it has what looks like a jagged washer, which is what it actually is attached to it. It's actually called a Keps nut. And we're gonna have 2 Keps nuts that are M6. We're gonna put those there. We're gonna have 4 little nuts. They're also Keps nuts, but the little ones. We're gonna group those together. And we're gonna have M6 nuts with no washer attached at all. We're gonna group those together. And last but not least, we've got 4 little, or we'll call them our little tiny screws, okay? So it's gonna make your life a little bit easier, and I've put in extra screws and extra feet for the different configurations. All right, the next thing that you wanna do is lay out your parts. We have the Holeyboard Module 1 right here. We have Module 2, and we have Module 3 for the foot pedal. And I recommend at this point, try to get some of your pedals, think about, you don't have to do your exact layout, but start thinking about where you're gonna put what you're gonna put. You know, I'm gonna start with fuzz. I'm gonna go into another fuzz, go into an overdrive. I'm gonna put on a wah, that kind of arrangement, because what we're kind of do right now is just figure out, you know, are we gonna set it up all the way kind of at the full width? Are we gonna set up a little bit more narrow? Some of the things I'm gonna show you a little later, I give you the hardware. If you're only starting with a small board, you can start simply with Module 1. But today we're gonna start with kind of a medium size that I feel fits about 7 or 8 pedals and seems to suit me just fine. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take Module 2, and you can tell that it's Module 2 because it doesn't have, there's holes all the way on the back, right? You've got 4 big rectangular holes on the back, so you have the right part. You're gonna take 4 of the short feet. You're gonna take an M6 nut. This is the not the Keps nut. It's the one without the washer attached. And it's super simple. See, there's a small hole on the bottom and there's a big hole on the top. We want the big hole facing up, and we're just gonna push the M6 nut into the top of each hole. It's gonna look like that, okay? And then we're gonna take, you just put this right on its back. It's amazing, it's almost like it was designed that way to sit up. Then we're gonna take the long M6 screws, not the short ones, okay? And you're gonna see that there's 4 countersinks. The countersink hole is one with a little chamfer on the outside of it. That's so the screw head sits down so it doesn't get in the way of your pedals. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 chamfered holes. I just push the screw through this side. The small hole, I'm gripping the rubber foot. You know, I used to use a power drill, which you can certainly do, but it's so unbelievably simple with my new feet and the new screws. And again, I just don't want this to twist easily. All right, all 4 feet are on. Module 2 is ready to go. So I'm gonna take now Module 1. And on Module 1, you can see the side where there's a blank spot and we have our nice fancy logo. I'm gonna put it up on end, so that is up in the air, okay? And I'm gonna attach I'm gonna take 2 of the tall feet. I'm going to push the nuts in just like I did before. I'm gonna take the long set screw, and I'm gonna push this in this side. What I'm looking at, you wanna make sure, look at the bottom, and you want to look and make sure that the screw is engaging into the nut. Sometimes if you haven't pushed the nut far enough down, because you shouldn't be able to pull this foot off, right? You want to make sure it's engaging the nut, and then when you turn it, then it gets nice and firm. Okay. So we now have our module 1. We have module 2, and now we're going to put our feet onto the module number 3 for your volume or for your wah. Now I have 5 holes. 1, 2, 1 in the middle, 3, 4, and 5. 5 tall feet, 5 nuts, and we're going to push each nut in. 5. I have 2 extra in here for you. I'll explain to you what those are for in a bit. We're going to take our long screw again, we put it into the countersink, and we're going to do the same exact thing. All right, so we have 5 feet on our module number 3. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do, you can put that aside. I'm going to say, what width do I want this lined up at? I'm going to go right out there. And what I'm doing is I'm just sliding it till I'm showing the holes. That looks about like where I would like the holes to be. I'm going to take these short M6 screw, the short one, and I'm just going to push it through. See this corner? On this corner, it lines up with all these holes below it. I'm going through module 1 into module 2. I'm just going to push that one down. All we need to do is set 1 for now. We'll rotate this up. We'll take the M6 Keps nut. It's the large Keps nut, the one with the washer attached. These things are amazing. I was actually taking apart my amplifier and I'm like, Keps nuts are fantastic. I used to have the separate lock washers. You just make it kind of finger tight. We'll take our second short screw, second nut, we're going to put it in the back hole, see, down at the bottom. When we put the Keps nut on, the little jagged washer goes against the Holeyboard base, okay? That's what's keeping it locked on for us. And then you can just hold your fingers on there. Because of the locking nut, you don't need a pliers, all right? And I'm turning it until it's pretty snug. All right, voila, we are set to go with the main board. Now we're gonna add on the module number 3 for our wah-wah pedal. And you will see among all the holes, there's 4 extra small holes. See those? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they're countersunk, back to our countersunk. So countersunk means they're gonna get a screw, right? I'm gonna take my Z connector and I'm putting it underneath, okay? Underneath with this countersunk hole. So I'm gonna hold it like that, put 1 small screw in, holding it with my thumb, and I'm gonna take the small Keps nut, just finger tight, then I can take my second small screw, I'm gonna put it through this hole. Now, last step. We are gonna take this number 3 module, is gonna go right on there, and I'm lining up these 4 holes, okay? So I'm gonna line those 4 holes. I'm gonna line those up, drop in, screw, rotate it up. Be easier for everybody to see. Take my screwdriver, I'm gonna hold each one of these and just give it a little. And voila, that's what the bottom should look like. See all of our feet, we have our rubber feet, and you can see it makes sense now that you've done it. Because of the height difference of the board when we're expanding and contracting, these feet are the short feet, these feet are longer. So I'm explaining that, so let's say you have 2 module number 3s, or you have a volume pedal and a wah and you want your volume on this side all the way at the end of your chain and you want your wah at the beginning, or you want to put your wah on this side, which you could do. You'll take the wah and you'll put it over here, but you'll use the extra short feet that I've included, okay? The same thing as what I was saying before, if you want to use just module number 1, rather than only putting 2 feet on, you could put 4 feet on of the same size. They can be the short or the tall feet, depending on what you put in module number 3. So that is the setup of the Holeyboard 1, 2, 3 out of the box. Next would be to add your pedals. So I'm gonna just show you how to put one on, and see my tips and tricks video for great detail on how to do all things with zip ties. And we can use zip ties or hook and loop, works on the Holeyboard 123. I'm gonna show zip ties today. So I'm gonna find, this is my fuzz, I'm gonna find where I wanna put it. See these holes right here? 2 holes. It's my patent pending hole pattern. I've spent, believe it or not, many, many years, so virtually any pedal that you pick will fit. So I want 2 holes that are pretty close to the sides, and that looks like a kind of a nice spot where it's not covering any connectors. And what I usually do is I usually put the zip tie in through the bottom, top, and then I should wear my glasses. I zip it down. I'll show you so everybody see what I'm doing. Zip it down, and then as I get closer and closer, you put the zip tie where you want it. And if you see it, I'm putting it close or to the hole on the side, then you can get the, the more kind of a right angle to the hole. You get a little bit tighter. That looks pretty good. And then what I do is cinch it up. And now what I'll do is go through and put all of my pedals on next, with my patch cords in between. And then when I'm all done, go back for a last little, just a gentle little pull to tighten things up. Then you can go and clip these off. Okay, so you've set up your whole board. We've put 1 pedal on. I'm gonna show you the next pedal, and then I'm gonna end this video because I'm creating a whole nother one that you'll be able to see linked, called Tips and Tricks, and that'll take you through kind of all the details and different things that you can do. So the next part is take your patch cable, whichever one you might have. If I'm gonna put this SL drive next after my fuzz. And what I do is after I zip the first one down, I'm gonna attach that cable, think about where I wanna place this. And again, I'm gonna do my same, you can zip them right onto the, you know what, I'll zip one on the top because I'll show you just as easy. Sometimes I like the clean look of connecting them on the bottom. I mean, for me personally, they're black on a black pedal and it's not such a big deal, but some people think it is. So I go kind of right near the edge. You can use a regular scissors. All you need is a scissors and a Phillips. If you have a clipper, you can certainly take advantage. So that is the setup out of the box of the Holeyboard 123. As always, if you have any questions, you can see the link to my email right at the bottom of the page. It's chris@holeyboardpedalboards.com. Have a great day. Then I could wear it as a hat.